Let's get your reaction now to the Joint Committee on Administrative Rules blocking Governor J.B. Pritzker's mask mandate for public schools, private schools, and that includes the exclusion policies that were keeping kids from school merely for being suspected of being a close contact to somebody who possibly tested positive for COVID-19. 217-629-7970. You're going to want to get your comments in quick because we do have State Senator Don DeWitt going to be joining us live in studio in just a few minutes to give us kind of a play-by-play of sorts to what happened at the Joint Committee on Administrative Rules meeting. So give us a call now at 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. Keep in mind, we got that winter storm watch Thursday. Today is going to be a high of 55. The low down to 35. It's going to be windy, and then rain starting overnight, and the temperature is going to drop with freezing rain and sleet and snow tomorrow. That could bring about 3 inches. And then Thursday night, we're talking a low down to 2. So there's a deep freeze coming after all that wet stuff. But your reaction to Governor J.B. Pritzker's mask mandates being blocked by a bipartisan vote in the Joint Committee on Administrative Rules. 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. As of right now, that means there is no statewide mandate for schools to require masks or to exclude students from school, from class, for being considered a close contact to a COVID-19 positive. So we'll get, of course, some direct reaction from Governor J.B. Pritzker a little bit later on today. He's going to be out at Lincoln Land Community College promoting college spending, but this is likely going to be an issue brought up that members of the media are going to ask. So what do you think? 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here, live and local on WMAY. Do you agree that this mask mandate has gone on too long, or are you still going to have your kids wear a mask despite there not being a mandate? And I think that's something that's important to say here is this isn't about blocking masks from being worn. You can still wear your mask if you want to, but should it be forced onto somebody? Should somebody be excluded from school, which is a right they have under the Illinois Constitution, to have a quality learning environment? Should they be blocked without being given due process? 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Yes, Greg, I was just curious. Were actual school districts plaintiffs in this lawsuit, or were they individuals? Or who actually were the 100 and some odd plaintiffs in his lawsuit?
There were 700 plus parents that were plaintiffs in this lawsuit. Those 700
Those
plus
school districts themselves.
The school districts were not plaintiffs. They were the defendants, along with the governor and state education officials.
I was just curious if any public money went into his pocket, and I guess that answers my question. Thank you.
I think DeVore does have some public schools that are his clients that were battling recognition status, because that's something else here. The Illinois State Board of Education all year has been going after school districts that are having masks optional. And these school districts have had to, go to hearings and defend themselves and face possible non-recognition status, which means a possible loss of state funds. And it's just been as one private school principal told me, a 3-ring circus. So without a rule in place, I think that whole thing just vanishes. We'll see what happens with the appeals process, but that's an ongoing issue, and the current standing order is Sangamon County Circuit Court Judge Raylene Grisho's order blocking the mask mandates from being in effect. 217-629-7970 is the phone number, 217-629-7970. Your reaction to the governor's mask mandate being blocked. Comment here on Facebook says, my children in Chicago schools were isolated and discriminated upon because they didn't wear masks. They were told to do remote learning. So a listener all the way up in Chicago sharing that their kids have been punished for not wearing masks. And now listen, the Sangamon County Court's ruling really only impacted the children of the plaintiffs in that case. But the ruling said that the mandate is, quote, null and void, and school districts govern themselves accordingly. Well, now the mandate's been blocked by the legislature. So we've got two of the three branches of government now with orders in place blocking the governor from filing these mandates. Again, we'll hear from the governor a little bit later on today, but I want to hear from you, 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning, Greg. I'm just really happy that, the legislation has finally got up off their butt and done something. For once, they've taken a vote and done what's right for the state.
Well, and just real quick, a little bit of background. Now, we've had the mask mandates in place for well over a year and a half now. If you recall, in 2020, the governor put in a mandate for businesses to enforce masks, and that mandate ultimately would have led to the criminalization of business owners if they didn't get up into the face of their customers and say, put a mask on or else. So there was a lot of pushback, and the governor had to repeal that mask mandate because JCAR was planning on blocking it. But the governor put in a softer mandate, and JCAR allowed that to stand. But that's been allowed to stand now for over a year. Here now with the court and their ruling recently, JCAR said you can't come around, circumvent that, and try to issue a new ruling. So they blocked the governor's ruling he filed this, or the governor's mandate he filed this week.
Agreed. But like I said, for far too long, I mean, they've just been sitting back and letting the governor do whatever he wants and just pass whatever he wants to through, executive. And, it's about time that they actually voted something off.
Yeah, and that was an action done by the Joint Committee on Administrative Rules. Here in a few minutes, we'll be joined in studio by a member of that committee to give us a play-by-play. But one last call. Good morning.
Morning, Greg.
Hey, make it quick, Tim.
Hey, real quick. What do I do with my grandson? He likes to wear the mask, still wants to, but he's getting bullied at school, and the kids without masks are just coming down on him. What do we do now?
I mean, if he wants to continue wearing the mask, he can continue wearing the mask, and maybe have teachers address it with the bullies. It's one way that you could address that, just as you would address any other instance of bullying that happens. All right, got to take a break. We will be back with Don DeWitt. He is a member of the Joint Committee on Administrative Rules. We'll get a play-by-play of what happened yesterday. Stay tuned.